had a blinding apprenticeship with this guy, and then I left there to try and earn a bit more money. So I went on the sites, and I could not do site work. Anyone that's watching that does site work, fair play to her, but I can't have someone constantly going to me, where's your goggles? Where's your chin straps? Under my 6 chins, mate. You can't see it. Do you know what I mean? And then they literally get yellow cards out. I'm like, am I on a football game?
Do you think that drugs is rife within the trades industry?
Massively.
You think it's rife?
Like, and this is not even me out in the trades here, but you know you are. Right, scaffolders, rife.
Yeah.
Like, gas engineers, it's rife. Honestly, I don't know if you use a social housing game. Yeah. 9 times out of 10, everyone you meet is on one. And it's.
I used to do it back in the day as a. I admit that as a recreation thing. Not so much like I'd be on it to get through work and that because I'd never worked that hard. Okay, right. Welcome to another Off the Job. Today we have a very special guest. His name's Daniel Foy, or as known on TikTok and Instagram, BigFoysey.
Wallop.
That's his catchphrase, isn't it? Like that, don't we? Wallop.
Wallop.
Have you? Go
on, give us a wallop. Go on.
Give us a wallop. Robbie, give us a wallop.
Go on, Robbie.
Wallop. We're trying to get this word out there.
Yeah, getting out there.
That cobweb's putting me off.
Hey?
That cobweb's putting me off.
What?
A spider's going to come off your bike in a minute.
So, Dan Boise, what do you do? Where do you come from? Let's learn a little bit about you.
Right.
Yeah? We want to know a little bit about where you come from and this, that and the other about you, because you're quite well known on TikTok now, but we need to get some raw facts on you.
Raw facts. Well, I think like we were saying before I start off by saying that people call me a plumber, but I'd say I'm a gas engineer.
Hey.
Just to sound like I've been university and done something for me life.
Yes.
You know?
The engineer status
I
thing.
would say it to a tradesperson, but people that don't understand it, I'm like, some people don't know what a gas engineer is.
But that's the thing, because then you can talk the most amount of rubbish to them.
Yeah,
being
true,
like, listen, like I put it on my Hinge profile, I'll go gas engineer.
Yeah.
Say, listen, I've been to university, I've done all of it, you know.
Yeah, you'll get them people though, like if you call yourself a gas engineer, there are always people not engineers, not engineers, not
all
engineers.
The time, and I'm like, mate, listen, I'm just living my life being an engineer.
Robbie, get up.
You're not going to go into this again, though. You do it every time.
Get up. What?
All this, no one likes calling a gas engineer, or people like to be called gas engineer.
Yeah, no, but people don't call. We're not allowed to be called gas engineers.
No, we get
engineers.
slagged off.
We get slagged off for we're calling
You're just
ourselves
a glorified
engineers.
plumber, that's what they say.
Yeah,
I don't like that.
The engineers who've been to university and got degrees don't like the fact that we call ourselves engineers. But what is the definition of an engineer? What is it?
A geezer.
Tell us, yeah. A geezer in a van.
He ain't got his mic set up.
He'll put it up on the screen and I'll read it. A person whose job is to design or build machines, engines or electrical equipment or things such as roads, railways, bridges using scientific principles. Well, I design...
Yeah, I was about to say.
I design and build mechanical structural. Yeah, I design and build heating systems.
Yeah, but look, that comes from Cambridge. You're not gonna. That's why they're not putting in like.
But the definition
How comes you're allowed
is
software engineer? I think
Yeah,
that's taking the biscuit if you
broad,
ask me.
isn't it?
exactly, innit? It's like that's the thing. It's like we design heating systems, which is a mechanical bit of engineering.
That's what I'm saying. Cambridge have cut out tradespeople.
Yeah, that's just
No. It's because they've never seen a tradesperson. They're unknown to us. We're a different type of engineer.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? We don't talk behind a computer. We talk to people in real life.
And that is why the brain boxes turn around and say, you're not engineers. We are engineers. We're gas
have
engineers
that.
and heating engineers. All right?
I'll leave it at that. We're
Leave
engineers.
it.
leave it at
Right,
that.
we've sorted it. Right.
Right, I'm glad we cleared that up.
Right, mate. Yeah. So where you from? Where you from?
I'm from South East London, SE9, Eltham, represent, and growing up there, I'm a gas engineer, and I've kind of gone in a route in my life now. I've been doing it for 10 years. I would recommend it to people to go down the plumbing and gas route, but I've had enough of it now, Pete.
You've had enough. You would recommend people to do it, but now you've had enough of it. What do you want to do? What would you want to do now? What would you like to? Or if you could start again, what would you do?
Yeah, I'd go from that standpoint. I think if I could start again, and anyone watching this that want to get into trades or want to do something, I just think the way the world's going at the moment, I think electrics, really.
Electrician.
Not that I want to put you all out there or put you on a pedestal because you don't deserve it. But get a dustpan and brush. But listen, my knees are hurting now. It's 10 years on, and I'd recommend it.
It's
to
never
anyone.
too late to change.
Everybody thinks I've got problems with electricity. Listen, I'd be an electrician.
You
right?
have.
Well, yeah. I mean, because I'm envious, I'm jealous. Yeah, I would like to be an electrician. If I could start again, I'd do electrics. I'd definitely do. If I had to do a trade, I would do electrics.
100%. And the avenues you can go down with it. I suppose with our one, you can have different ones. You've got drainage and all that.
Yeah.
But who wants to do drainage?
Yeah. Well, there's air source heat pumps now and all that malarkey.
Stop
There,
it.
you know what I mean?
So what side of it don't you like? What have you had enough of? What part of the job?
Do you know what? To be perfectly honest with you, the bit I've had enough about it is people think that they can just. You go for heart surgery, you don't try and barter the guy down for a price, do you? And you go into someone's house, and they're always. I feel like with this, I don't know if there's other trades, but with this game, you go in someone's house, it's straight away trying to make me feel bad for you. Like it's constantly like wanting to make me feel guilty about something in your life, and I'm here to try and make some money, and I'm somehow feeling bad about fitting a radiator
And charging you,
charging you for it, and it's constant. Like it's honestly, it's not what. And then you leave the job and you do feel bad. You look like, oh, I've got 3 kids.
That's how you feel because of your moral perspective on life. There's a lot of people out there who, I'm the same as you. I go in, I think to myself, I go, that job is going to cost them, I'm going to charge them today 250 quid.
Yeah.
Right, and then I come out and I only charge them 200 quid. Do you know what I mean? Because I'm thinking,
and then you've got kids to feed.
But you should have more, you should have more structure in it. But the thing is, and I think we had this thing earlier, like, because you see carpenters going out, they're hanging doors for like 300 quid.
Yeah.
Right? A door or such forth like that.
Yeah.
I think with like plumbing and electrics, people
That's
always.
not always the case, though. They'll still have the same problems.
Yeah, they'll have the same problems, but I think with plumbing and electrics, a lot of the stuff we do, people don't see. So it's not like a finishing trade like a tiler. When people see the beautiful bathrooms, it's all done and they go, that's how much I've paid for that. And people can come around and go, come and have a look at the bathroom, come and have a look at the kitchen.
Literally.
This is what we've had done.
Look at the woodwork.
With
look at the
electrics,
brickwork.
plumbing, there's nothing. They're not going to go, do you want to come around and look at my new fuse board or boiler? It don't work like that, does it?
If we fit a boiler together, me and you will go, oh, look how lovely that looks. And then next thing you know, they're getting a cabinet built
Yeah,
over it.
we're the only ones who are going to appreciate the pipe work.
And then they question the price. That's what I mean about
So
it.
do you like the job itself? Is it just because
look, it's got its ups and downs with it. I think the best thing about this game is that every day is different, and you'll come across something that always keeps you on your toes. Like you're never going to be too comfortable with it. I can only imagine like a painter and decorator. I'm not slagging them off, but after a while it gets right. I'm going to go in here. I've got my own space, and it's the same stuff every day. This job, honestly, you could picture it out and have a blinding day. I'm going to be finished at this time. I'm going to get it all done. You come across a Worcester, you take the case off, and then you're like, oh, the heat exchanger's done. And now I'm here having to tell them I've got to shut your boiler off, and then you got that grief with it as well.
Mate, I don't.
it is hard graft, yeah, but a lot of it does come down to what customer base you have, I think, because you
Massively, yeah.
But it's easier said than done to now change your customer base because you've built up that customer base to then try and go for like higher end where you're not going to get as much issues with the price.
I don't know if it's just me, honestly. I just feel like it's got worse the last 5 years, definitely. But when I first started doing it, going out and doing jobs, you do a tap and no one would really quiver with it. They go, right, sweet, get that done. Now, everything's about, how much is this, how much is that? And I get it with the cost of living and how it is, but I speak to my other mates that are doing trades and doing stuff, and they're like, no, get the price all sorted. And I'm like, why is it every job? And then you'll do a job, do it blinding, and they'll be like, oh, yeah, but, like, surely we can, like, get this off. And I'm like, why am I constantly having to haggle with about money for jobs? Like, I'm doing this, like, it's not a charity. I'm coming here to do a job for you and help you out, like, and do a proper job. Like, because in this game as well, how many people talk rubbish, and then you're the one that's having to sort the job out.
Yeah.
I think it's like, I went to a job the other night, and it was like, I went at 7 o'clock to have a look at it, and it's for a tenant. And the boiler casing fell on the floor. It fell over and he went, can you be more careful, please? I was like, no, he's up on the 8th floor, the window's open, and it blew the boiler casing over that I had off the front of his boiler. And I was like, yeah, sorry, mate, the wind blew it. Well, can you be more careful, please? And I thought, I just thought, oh, do you know what I mean? Anyway, I went back there the next day and you say, like, it's all different, yeah? It was the PCB, yeah, that was done. And then I put a new one in, and I blew that fucker up. No.
We've all been there. We've all been there.
I couldn't help but laugh at that. I was like, I know how he's feeling.
I was absolutely
Price of them as well. That's another thing with this game.
Yeah.
So I do commercial as well. So with commercial, you'll have 4 boilers there. And the one thing is with it, and I'll say it how it is, you can make a mistake on there and it's all right because you can take apart from that boiler, they're all the same. So that one's got E133. I'm just going to go, right, I'm going to take that gas valve, put it in there. Oh, that's fixed.
Yeah.
But if I'm in someone's house and it's winter and they've got 3 kids, the stress of this, right? You're going in there on a Worcester and you're calling them up. You're like, mate, like I'm tested all this, and you go, right, go for a punt and get the diver or whatever, and I go, right, get it. 2 days comes in, it's the wrong part. That is stress like you've never seen because Keiran over there is not having none of it. Yeah. She ain't even giving you 2 biscuits with your Tina. Like it's one of them, like it's honestly like it's that. Oh, honestly, when you get a part wrong on a job, when you blew that board, I swear you must have felt like.
I couldn't help but laugh because I knew what it feels like.
Yeah, no, do you know what?
Was it a Valent?
No, it was ideal. But what it is, they've got like they've got like a fast blow fuse, and it don't protect the board. So what it was like the hot water sensor. It was all, I didn't see it because I just looked at it. Board's gone. But always when I think to myself, when a ball goes, there's something else that's caused the board.
Always.
A lot of the time. But I didn't see it. I just didn't see that this water sensor had been leaking,
sensor?
like behind. Yeah,
on the
it'd been
plate.
leaking.
Yeah.
So them all sensors, if you unplug them on a service, it can blow them as well. Just if you unplug them, you got to be really careful because they're really delicate bit of kit, right? So when I've changed the board, right, I've turned it on, right, and it's on, right. But I only found out the oil sensor weren't working once looking behind it and going, hang on a minute, like,
why is that all crusty, mate?
That's all crusty, and there's no hot water cool, right. So the oil sensor was knackered, right.
Yeah.
So I was like, right, we'll get a new oil sensor, right. That's what I did, got a new oil sensor. And bearing in mind, the existing one was still plugged in and it had power to it, yeah?
Right.
So I unplugged it, put the new turbine and oil sensor in, plugged it in, turned it on, pop. What? Well, the fucking wiring loom's done. So I had to change the wiring loom as well because the wiring loom was.
People don't see this. This is what I'm saying. They don't see this drama we have.
The mate, he was good as gold, the geezer. He was the landlord. The tenant wasn't there this day, and all he could hear me going was going, "Fucking hell!" I just do it. I was going, "Fucking can't believe this! What the fuck?" And I'm getting me fucking testers out testing the fuse. Fucking why you didn't blow? Why didn't you blow? I was like, fucking hell, what the fuck?
I'd love to be a fly on the wall.
And mate, I was in Arlo and I had to drive out to Collier Road to get a new board, right? And I was speaking to my mate on the phone. He's gone, yeah, Pete. He goes, yeah, those. I don't know. He goes, I don't know about it. I do. They go, you gonna know about it? We go, I don't know nothing about it. He goes, I'll help you out. He goes, I can't. He goes, the customer's just gonna have to pay for it, isn't they? He went, it's not your fault. And I'm like,
mate.
And I think to myself, is it my fault? Is it his fault? Like, does he swallow it? And what I did, I left off the hall sensor and the turbine, which was about 70 odd quid.
Yeah.
And then he paid me for both PCBs. He goes, it's not your fault. And I was like...
But that's rare, though.
Even though he was sweet as a nut, and he stuck 50... I charged him X amount. I don't want to say how much because people go, you fucking... Yeah. No, fuck it.
And you're moaning about the game.
It was 800 quid, right? 800 quid replaced PCB, wiring loom, hall sensor and turbine, yeah? And I'd been two visits.
Yeah, that's what about
been there back, do you know what I mean? And I went, 800 quid. He went, stick extra 50 quid on it. I went, mate... Sweet. I probably didn't make a lot of money out of that job.
People will hear this on this now and think, "Oh, that's a lot of money." Like, and I know it sounds like a lot of money, but honestly, if you take everything into consideration, everything.
I've already been there the one night before as well, which I hadn't charged for because I went out there to have a look at it and realised it was a PCB. It was fucking dark. Didn't see the oil sensor and all that.
Got another 2 jobs to go to.
He's got an air fryer underneath it and all that, and I'm thinking this is probably a part reason why, but. That's gone in your head at 7 o'clock at night, and you're thinking, well, the PCB's gone, condensation's got into it, whatever, bosh. But it weren't, it was something else. It's just, it was a nightmare.
But that's it, it's literally, but that's the side of it that people don't see. That's why I don't like the job that much.
So you said you do commercial.
Yeah,
how do you find the difference between...
Do you know what? I'll be real with you. Just for that reason I just said... And dealing with, like, I'm a very people person. I can talk to a lot of people and I enjoy it. But sometimes in this game it gets stressful and I just want to focus on the boiler. When you have got 4 boilers there, 2 pump sets there, so 1 pump goes down, all I do is go to a panel and go, pump 2. Now they've got circulation. Now I can isolate the other pump, got a bit of time to get a new one. That boiler's got a fault on it. I can literally, without even calling the manufacturer, go, right, let me try that. Right, ain't that. Let me try this. Right, ain't that. Oh, let me try that. Oh, it's fired up. I know it's that part for definite.
Yeah.
I order it.
Yeah.
That side of it, and you're in a plant room, no one's bothering you, and they got Wi-Fi. So 9 times out of 10, and
they got Wi-Fi,
because you've got an all-day service on it, and sometimes it's, you know, like not even taking a biscuit is going to take quite quick certain jobs, but you've got all day to do it. You just relax now. But when you're doing domestic game, for me, it's especially if you're in the social housing like, part of this game.
You got to be in and out, ain't you?
It is honestly, it's a dark place, social housing in like doing gas engineering, especially when you do it in London. I don't know what it's like all around the country, but in London, I was doing it for Southwark Council, Lambeth Council, and honestly, the stuff you see for a start, you're getting given 20 jobs a day, and I swear to God, you're meant to go in and do a proper service on a boiler. Get in and out of there, but they do it on scheduler rates, most of these companies. So you're getting 45 minutes for that, hour and a half for this. So, change a fan on a boiler, that's hour and 15 minutes. So you're now in a zone where you've got to try and make a load of money, which you're trying to do, but also try and do gas engineering safely. And I look at it and it's honestly, and also you're doing call out with these things. So most people that are gas engineers will live on it to do call out in the winter. They'll be working till 1 a.m, back out at 10 or back out at 8, depending on how much of a grafter you are. And it's relentless for 4 months, strictly you're out constantly. When summer comes, you might have built up a bit of money, but you're like a zombie.
Yeah.
It's so hard on your body, and it's like you're there. And listen, I'll say this, people out there that do this game will turn to drugs to stay awake. Like, and I've been there, it's been a dark place, this job. Like, you're trying to get all this money in to have your lifestyle, look after your kids, look after your family, and you're also trying to stay awake and do the job. So, and it's like chefs as well. You do turn to the substances.
Yeah, that's renowned.
That people don't see with it.
I've never heard that side of it, to be
Chefs
honest.
is renowned for it. Like after they've shut up shop, they're out. Like they might have a drink as well that goes hand in hand, and then they're doing. I've seen it in restaurants.
No, but my brother's a chef, and for one, like when I was growing up, there was a part where he'd be doing these ridiculous hours and constantly on one. And I was just like, and then I went into this game and I didn't realise the dark sides of it, like I say, with the social housing bit.
Is that what you went straight into, the social housing?
Yeah, no, straight away I started working for a bloke. I was doing an apprenticeship, had a blinding apprenticeship with this guy, and then I left there to try and earn a bit more money. So I went on the sites, and I could not do site work. Anyone that's watching that does site work, fair play to her, but I can't have someone constantly going to me, Where's your goggles? Where's your chin straps? Under my 6 chins, mate. You can't see it. Do you know what I mean? It's not, but like, and then they literally get yellow cards out. I'm like, am I on a football game?
Yeah, I remember that. I was working in Thamesmead on the tower blocks in Thamesmead, right? And we would get, so you'd have to walk around site with goggles on, hard hat, gloves, but walking from properties, right? And he'd walk up to the property, right? And the bird would be in her dressing gown with fucking sliders on, smoking a fag, right? And then she's going, if I trip over anything and I damage my unborn baby, do you know what I mean? And you think to yourself, that we're walking around these people's houses looking like fucking astronauts, and yet they're just like toing and throwing in their slippers, like bare feet, kids crawling around and all that, and you're thinking, what is this madness about? Do you know what I mean?
That's what I just, and another thing with site work as well, now we've gone into it. Why aren't I allowed to listen to music? Like, I'm not going to have it loud, but like for me, you see my video, I love music. Yeah. When I'm in the zone doing a job, I just want a bit of Luther Vandross or something. Yeah. Just in the background, because you get a bit of a groove when you're doing your job, but they're taking away the soul of you doing anything at work. Yeah. You can't wear shorts in the summer on sites. When it, like for a big geezer, like when you're sweating and the trousers stick to your leg, and you're there with all this PPE on, I'm just like the money's good. I'm not going to say it's not on sites. You can earn good money uptown when you're working on them. But it's all the other stuff that comes with the site. So I was like, that ain't for me. I've done it for a year. I remember I fitted the urinal trough, and I'll never forget this to the day I die. I'm fit the urinal trough, you know, the cheap ones. Yeah. Put that on there, and I'm underneath, piping up the waist. Anyway, I'm just piping it down. This guy's come in. He's come straight over. I've done the bottle trap. I've got the pipe going there. I'm clipping it, and I'm going down so I'm about to connect on. This guy's seeing me doing this. Got his finger out, right, having a piss in there, and I'm just watching the piss go next to me, and that was the day I went, I'm done. Yeah. And I was like, I'm out of here, mate. Like, and I've got my stuff, and I remember saying to him, I quit, I'm done. And he's just like, why? I went, because you've got people that are pissing in the fucking, and I'm there piping it up. And I went, you know, and it's the spitting on sites as well. If you're going there, everything, and you're doing the sinks while they're doing it, I was like, not for me. Good luck to anyone else doing it. Yeah, not for me. I'd rather go in and meet Dorian and get a biscuit. Like,
so what is he like? You got you say darker stories like of the
So this is where. So I went from site work and I went to working for social housing. So I went into Southwark Council and I was doing that. And at the time I was in a long-term relationship, and it's stressful. You know what it's like. You're trying to provide and you're trying to do something with your life as well, but you got that all at home, and it's all that baggage. I ended up what I used to do, and I'm a bit ashamed of it now, but looking back, I know there's other people out there that be the same as me. I was taking every call that I could do because I didn't like my life, what was going on outside of work that much.
Right.
I was trying to keep myself occupied at work as much as I could. So I went in, I was doing that, and the money's so addictive. You see, you're getting paid on a weekly basis. So let's just say that I've done call out 5 nights in a row. Normally I'd get, let's say, £800 after tax for doing a whole week flat. I'd do that, do 5 days of it. My money's now 1,900 after tax. Even though they've just taken all of the tax, you don't look at that, what they've taken tax, you're just looking, I've just done 5 days.
Yeah.
And then what does come with that is you start chasing that. And for me, what happened was where I was so unhappy with my what was at home, and I didn't like my life where it was, I was like, right, I was just staying at work, but I was so tired, so I did turn to cocaine. And it was such a dark hole it sent me down, because every day I'd be spending 100 quid just to stay at work till 1. And then I'd go home, couldn't go to sleep till 4, and then I'd be back to work the next day at 9. The cycle's like that.
And then your profit margin is going up,
but your profit, you're earning a lot of money, but you're also doing a lot of
It's not just the profit, it's the,
but it's such
in a bad
honestly,
mental
it's a devil.
space.
It's just there on your shoulder going, oh, come and do court. And then you've got that drug, which is the devil. Like, it will just keep you, then the paranoia starts coming in. And also, you're driving under the influence. Like, and it's honestly, I've seen it so many times, and I've gone from 5 different firms that are in social housing. Every one of them do the same thing. You'll meet them. In the morning, they won't really talk to you. They'll be miserable because their come down's on. Get to about 1, they might have a bit of lunch, then boom, everyone's calling each other up. You're getting on one. Like, and it's just like, we're going to get this and split it. And then it comes to, you're not going to work to do work, you're going there just to kind of stay away from what's going on at home and just do this work and just relentlessly go into it. So then at the same time, when I had all that going on in my life, if you've done that drug, you know what it does to you. It dragged me to the darkest place I've ever been in my life. I used to look at mental health and I used to go like, oh, people just moan and they keep doing this, just stop moaning. But until you've got that in there and you're on your own, like the worst thing for me was I broke up with my ex. It weren't like it, we just grew up. Well, I got with her when I was 17, so we grew up, and like, I'll always love her, but we just weren't meant for each other. And that was the hardest thing for me, because I was doing that and she didn't even know. And I'm trying to get by, and I keep trying to live 2 lives, and it ate away, and you're doing this to someone you care about. I was like, right, ended that, and then boom, I went right down a hole with it, because I was just like so like heartbroken that I'd done that to her. She didn't deserve it, but I'm like, right, now I'm here on my own. What am I gonna do? Work, and do drugs. And then that, honestly, like, started, because the thing is with that is you'll go from being all good, and you'll do the drug and be all good, and then it's when you're there on your own, when no one's looking at 3 a.m, and then you start getting the dark thoughts. What am I, like, my life is worthless, my life's pointless, like, what am I doing? All I do is bring misery. And that's not the case at all, but you start telling yourself that. You start believing it. And then, it got to a point where I was just like, I don't really want to be here anymore. I was just like, and it kept, but I'd only have this time come in at like a certain time of night. I'd be all happy and bubbly. You wouldn't ever think I had anything up with me. I'm always that kind of person anyway. And then it would be when I was on my own, I'd start getting the thoughts. And then, about a year and a bit ago, I went from having 10 grand in my bank at the time, and I say it. So I left her and I had 10 grand in my bank, and this is how bad that drug done me. I then went from getting loans out to pay for it, because and I never wanted to just buy a little bit, it would be a lot. And I'd buy a lot just because then I'd go, right, I'll keep that there. And in my mind, I try to make it make sense, go, yeah, I've got that there now, so I don't need to keep calling people. But then when you got it there, you're just constantly doing it.
Yeah.
You're immune, you got to start getting immune to it a little bit. But what people don't see with that drug is that it literally changes who you are as a person. I started being miserable, and I weren't being myself around people, and that's what made me hate myself even more. And I swear to God, it was like the darkest part of my life, to be honest. It was just one night, I was just like, do you know what? I don't want this anymore. So I tried to kill myself. And it was, I tried to cut my wrist open, not to be too with it, but I stopped myself from doing it one week. And I had, at the time, my cousin, I call him my cousin, he's grown up in care, but my godmother, he calls her mum. So we become really close when I broke up with my ex. And he literally, it was the next week, and I was like, right, all throughout the week, I was like, oh, I'm good, everything's all right. That was just a little blip. Next week come, and I'd done the whole week, like I said, working, doing all that, and it come to a Saturday night, and I'll never forget, it was 2:09 in the morning, and I was literally just about to do it. I've given up. I just don't want to do this anymore. I'd be crying on my own. I'd be just sitting there just like, what have I done with my life? All I've done is hurt people. And you get the darkest thoughts. And then literally, as I was about to do it, he called me. Literally, like, my phone called up and Ronnie came up, and I'll never forget it. And I'm literally crying my eyes out at this point, like, because I was so like done with everything. I was like, I don't want to be here anymore. And he literally called me. He was like, I don't know why I had this big urge to just call you. Just want to say, like, ever since you came into my life, like, I love you. Like, just I don't know what to do without you. And that just was like everything I needed at the time. I was like, oh my God, so someone actually needs me. But no one would know at the time that I had them thoughts going on. Yeah. No one would have thought it.
Because you weren't talking about it, was you?
Weren't talking about it at all. I just kept it to myself, and I'd rather people just look at me and think, oh, he's a bubbly, happy guy. And it was like, once I had that happen, I just realised I had to get off the cocaine. I was like, I have to get off this drug. And with his help as well, luckily now I'm off of it. And my life, honestly, like I say it to anyone watching, my life a year and a half ago, I swear to God, I thought there was nothing left for me in this world. I thought there was no more hope. I had nothing. I was like, I've done everything I can do. I've had the laughs. All my mates are growing up now. And I was just like, and I had everything and I've thrown it all away. And now she's probably with someone else. And you start getting all that. And I just started going, you know what? I don't care what people think of me anymore. And I really started getting like that. And I went, you know what? I'm going to go online. I'm going to start. I started doing videos anyway because it made me happy. You probably get like it. You'll make a video. You might not post it, but it makes you laugh. Yeah. Like, and I do that. I'll post I'll put a little video on myself and I listen. I know I look like a knobhead right now, but it makes me laugh. Yeah. And I was like, right, I'm going to go on TikTok and start posting it. And I just started posting. And I have a window wiper dance. and I was just like, fuck it. I'm going to just put this window wiper dance on there, and it blew up. And I was like, oh. And at the time, I was still kind of in that headspace. Yeah. I was just trying to just make something of myself a little bit like, oh, what makes me happy? Music. What makes me happy? Me being me. But why is it when I'm around people, I feel so shy and nervous to be myself? And then I really started doing that. And one thing I love is, if I'm driving, I have my music well loud, put the windows down. And who don't want to see a fat guy dancing in the van? No, like, on a serious one, you see a chubby guy absolutely having it in the van. Like, everyone smiles. People might look and go, what the fuck? But I go over Tower Bridge. It's my favourite spot. I'll go over there at 10 mile an hour and I'll just say, no, Sadiq Khan told me to do this. So, do you know what I mean? I'm going to just do it. And no, but on a serious one, back to it, I swear to God, at the time, I thought there was no hope for me left out there. Honestly, I was like at rock bottom in my life.
It's not even that long ago either, is it?
No, it's literally, I look back to it. So I go back to it's my godmother's where it was. I go back and I walk through the room and it literally makes me feel like, God, this is where it all happened. And I was just like, Christ, from where I was 4 years ago looking at it to then, that low, I can understand anyone going through stuff, but I've been there firsthand.
So with regards to getting off of it then, what was like the withdrawal like on how would you say you coped with that? Because obviously that's not easy.
No, it's honestly, I feel like, so my little cousin, he doesn't touch anything. And I say to him, I go, listen, everyone does their own thing and I'd never judge anyone or look down at them. But my only advice to anyone would be is don't touch that drug, because once you've done it, you always have the devil there telling you have 1 pint and then you go, ooh. Yeah. You have 2 pints, then you're like, ooh, and then your mate's going, oh, should we get one? And then it's so easy to go, even if you're trying to stop smoking, like I'm trying to stop smoking at the minute. Last night someone offered me a cigarette and I'm like, yeah. Yeah. Even though I've just done a whole week of not smoking, but that temptation. But to get off of the gear, it's more, for me, the circle that you're surrounded by. Because like, even though you're your powers, it's not that you have to cut them off, but you're constantly around a circle of people that do the same thing and it's the same vibration. Yeah.
Temptation.
You get wrapped Daryl said the same thing, didn't he? When Daryl was on there, he was saying about you had to cut off the people that, not cut them off, but
no,
like,
you just have to distance yourself from it. And like Dapper Laughs helped me a lot with it as well, because I was watching his videos with it and I was going, I'll do so well, I won't do it for 2 weeks, and then I'll go out and it's like, boom, I'm there at 5 a.m. going, how have I done this again?
You should, because I think you look at it as a bit of a reward thing. Do you know what I mean? You think, I ain't done it for 2 weeks, so I'm entitled to a bit. Yeah, I'm not on it again, but I'm entitled to it. It's a bit like the cigarette thing. I'll only have one, because I've done well. Do you know what I mean?
100%. And I look at it like that, but getting off of it, the hardest bit really was having to not really be around them people, to be fair. But the one thing I will say, because a lot of people, when they try to get off of it, they'll do so well, they'll go 1 month and they'll do it. And honestly, that feeling of saying no is much better than the feeling of saying yeah. Because I swear to God, after an hour, you regret it. And all that work you've put in, because it's so easy to go the next day and have one, next day and have one.
Next day when you wake up and you ain't done it, you feel good.
So much better about yourself. And the thing is, you can go out legit and have a great night without touching that stuff. And listen, if you get smashed, you get smashed. Just go home. You don't need to stay out and do that all the time. Like, I know it's one of them things. Like, it's a laugh, you say it, so who's getting on one and all that. But when you see, like, when I was 17...
It's all repeated, though, isn't it? It's all the same stuff.
When I was 17 doing it, and I wished I could say this to young teenagers now that are doing it, yeah, you do it, and it's the best thing you've ever done. Like, you will never have had a feeling like it, and then all you're doing is chasing that feeling. But what they don't tell you when you first start taking it is that in 10 years' time, you will be like curtain peeking. You will be paranoid as anything. You won't want to be with your mates doing it, for a start. You want to be on your own doing it. And that's what I mean.
Very true.
Like, and that's when you start getting to that point where you go out and then you go, I'm just going to swerve off, get my own little bit, and then be at home. That's when you've got an issue, and that's when you need to really address it.
And I know,
if you don't, you'll be like I was, and that, honestly, no one wants to be that place.
I know people like that with 20, 30-year habits who are just cooped up in their house.
On their Jack Jones.
Doing
Now
it.
just do it, yeah.
And it's like, I can't get my head around it. I'm thinking, you can't be enjoying yourself doing that.
You're not enjoying it.
What is this? That's what I can't get my head around. But for them, it makes sense at the top. Do you know what I mean? But if you could look it from the outside in at yourself in the future, you'd be thinking, nah, I'd never do anything like that. But it happens.
And,
like
and so many people are like opinionated of it. You'll look, and probably people watch and go, "Oh, proper scumbag," like, for being all like that. Honestly, at the time, you don't really realise, like, you're there, and all you're saying is, "I just want to be on my own," and you don't understand why you want to be on your own. You just want to be on your own.
Yeah.
And then when you're on your own, you're just doing the weirdest stuff. You're like, what am I doing with my life right now? But you don't think about that. It's the next day, and then the come down from it. Your way of dealing with the come down is getting more. Where when it's a hangover for me, like on alcohol, you're sitting there next day like, get that away from me. Like,
I don't want to do that again.
You just want to pump pizza, mate.
Yeah,
like.
it's an evil cycle, isn't it? An evil
cycle, and how easily accessible it
but
is.
Do you think, like, because a lot of, do you know what, right? So I've done a few posts I've done a few serious posts online about mental health and stuff like that, and a lot of people are saying, right now, I don't want to diss anybody in the game. Do you think that drugs is rife within the trades industry?
Massively.
You think it's rife?
Like, and this is not even me out in the trades here, yeah, but you know who you are. Right, scaffolders, rife.
Yeah.
Like, gas engineers, it's rife. Honestly, I don't know if you use a social housing game.
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, everyone you meet is on one. And it's.
I used to do it back in the day as a. I admit that as a recreation thing. Not so much like I'd be on it to get through work and that, because I never worked that hard. But
not work past for a
like, it's never been something for me to like keep me going or anything like that. I'm not taking it for. I took it as a recreation thing, and it got to a point where it was a little bit. Do you know what I mean? Where I had to think to myself, and go, well, to be fair, when I met me wife is when I got off of it. Like, it was like, do you know what? I don't really want to lose her. If I do,
is it because of that?
If I do lose her, it's because of that. So I'm not going to touch it, and that was good for me. I put. That's one good thing she done for me. But I also had a heart condition as well. So I found that out after. Obviously, I'd stopped it all, but it was like, fucking hell. Do you know what I mean? If I hadn't have given up, I could have killed myself. Like 2-3 years down the line. Back thing could have exploded.
Well, even me, like, I'm not the slimmest of people out there, so my heart's already under stress.
Yeah, so and, like
it's all adding up. Like, and sometimes when I was on it, I used to have a Fitbit on, and I'd look and I'd go, Jesus, my heart rate. I'm just sitting here and it's at 146.
Christ,
resting. Like, me, and that's like fat burning zone. I'm learning that now, but yeah, that's fat burning zone. Right. So why I was fat back then, like, I should have lost a lot of weight, but it's a dark place, that drug. Honestly, I wouldn't advise anyone to really get into it. I know it's proper, people laugh and joke about it, but I've seen it firsthand what it does to you. Yeah. And I never thought I'd ever be in that position, to be honest.
Did you get any outside help?
Oh, massive. Do you know what? And that's another thing for me. Luckily enough, I was fortunate to have people that I could open up to and talk to about it. And I started talking to like close people about it, and that just talking, I can't. You people will watch this and go like, oh, and I swear to God, like, you don't realise, and it's about anything in your life. You build it up and boil it up, it will come out in the worst way, and it will. You just don't know when it's going to happen. You'll try and be chilled about things, calm, and then one thing will do you like a gate valve, right? And then like, boom, everything comes out, and it's talking about it. And especially as a bloke, like, we're all there, like, we put on the front, I'm a geezer. And it's just like, yeah, you're a human though, mate. You know, like, we all have things going on. It might be debt, it might be this, it might be marriage, might whatever. You just have someone or whatever just to talk to. But I found the best thing for me was talking to someone that knew nothing about me. Right. So I talked to my friends and it helped me, close friends. But then when I actually went and got counselling and spoke to someone about it, they know nothing about me. They don't know who I am. It's just a voice over a phone. And there was something quite calming about that I could open up and let you know at the time. And too many people are worried about even having a chat. And that's where, at the time, I swear to God, no one would have had a clue that I had anything wrong with me. Like, even when my cousin found out, he was crying about it because he's like, I never knew that you was like that feeling like that. Why didn't you tell me?
And that's the scary thing, isn't
That's
it?
what's scary about it. Because the next day, God forbid, but my godmother would have come downstairs and seen me like that. And then you don't think about the other things at the time as well. Not once did I think, oh my God, my mum and dad are now going to have to live the rest of their lives with their son gone. And then now I reflect on it and I go back and I go, that's what that drug done to me. Like, I'd have left all my family like that. I was selfish in a way. Like, I was going, I just don't want this anymore. Yeah. And really, it was like, what was actually bad in my life? That's like, and I was looking, I go, my life could have been a lot worse, but still it got me to that point. It was still warranted at the time, do you know what I mean? But now I look at my life right now where I am, and this is only a year and a bit on. And honestly, I'm like, I wouldn't change it for the world now. Yeah. Like, I go on and I do my thing, I do my TikTok videos or whatever, and I just be myself. And it's like you just be yourself. And I just love doing it. Yeah. Like, people go, oh, you're going on a podcast? And I'm like, yeah, no, I'm being myself, mate. I ain't putting on an act.
No, that's it.
And it's like with you, yeah, you might have your characters.
We have put makeup on him, though.
We weren't going to say that, right? Yeah, stop it.
We ain't really. But no, yeah, you're right. You are yourself, and you're getting a following now from it. A lot of the younger guys out there, like, because somebody told me about you, and I see him, and I was like, oh, do you follow BigFoysey? I was like, oh, let me check this guy out. And it was like, it's funny, isn't it? How like things work out, sort of thing.
No, 100%.
But it's popular, isn't it? It's popular. What's your biggest like number on the videos then? What you got?
Well, I done one the other day, believe it or not, and it was 1.4 million.
Oh, right.
It was my funeral song.
Oh.
So, yeah, no, I'm talking about that. Funeral songs. I already thought this a year ago.
We've rolled this in quite well.
Quite well. Beautiful. No, like, I don't know if you remember that song by Ben Pierce. I did just what I had to be when I heard you say what you said to me.
Yeah, Robbie's nodding his head.
Yeah, he knows it. So I was like, yeah, put it on. I was like, imagine going into a funeral and you've got a coffin on there. I was like, it would be heavy, admittedly. It would be heavy with me. I was just like, but yeah, drop Foysey. But I was going, I'll be in the coffin having it. I'd be like, revive me, brother. I done that, and it honestly blew up. I had ridiculous amount of famous people like messaging me nice stuff.
Oh really?
Yeah, it was honestly like I had Ed Sheeran like it. I had like honestly like it was.
That's blinding.
No,
mate.
But when you see it like from me, and I don't know enough about the period to know where you've come from, but I've literally grown up. Like, my mum and dad done everything for me, but we are council estate like kids. Yeah. And my mum and dad worked every hour they could to provide anything for me, so I'm so grateful for it. But for me, it's just humbling. You just go, Christ, I've got Ed Sheeran liking my video. Do you know what I mean? Like, I've got Plumber Towers messaging me. I'm like, it's just life's going good, you know? But
I've never been mentioned in the same breath as Ed Sheeran before.
Plumber Towers, Ed Sheeran, collab, bring it on.
So social media's been a massive help for you then to get out of that rut.
Massive. You know what? You believe it or not, it actually has been. But it was more the point that I really gave up on giving a fuck what people thought about me. Yeah. To say in layman's terms. And I swear to God, best thing I ever done. Because for you to actually sit there and think that people care about you, bit narcissistic anyway, but people do. It's like everyone's got all these insecurities. And people all the time message me and go like, how are you so confident to do all this? I'm like, mate, I've got to the point now where I really just don't care what you think. You could literally comment on my stuff and say nasty stuff. Like, I had one guy when I first started doing it, and I'm in a bad headspace at the time, like, and I've put a video on there, and he said, like I said to you, it was yeah, your mum must have had it hard pushing you out of the womb. And I said, yeah, like, that was hard for her, bless her. But I just wrote to him, I just sent him a mental health number, and I just said, listen, mate, when you're obviously going through a lot at the minute. Yeah. So when you come out the other end, I was just like, call this number, give me a message, and I'll take you for a Chinese and show you a real man is. Like, and I wrote that back to him, and then he got like 1,000 likes, and he removed his comment. And I'm like, that's how I've learned. And I don't know if it's where you've grown up with, but where I've grown up in, it's a savage world. Like, banter is key. Oh, yeah. If you think I've been called fat once in my life, then you're a fool.
But that's the thing, innit? It's like online, like, there's all these comments and stuff that go, and people do things, and people are offended and all that. But like, we've got to take them comments in life, because it builds up an armour, right? And you can't get offended by everything. You just can't. Like, if I got offended by every comment that I had, like, I'd be like, oh, I can't do this now. But like you say, you just got to lose your inhibitions. Stop worrying what people are thinking, because those people ain't going to help you. Do you know what I mean? And like, I don't know if you had it like when you started out, and that when you did start doing it, you had like none of your real mates, like I call you real mates, your in-person mates. Yeah. They might not have supported you as much as you thought they would.
Do you know, I'm glad you just said that, right? Because people ask this to me, and I go, I've had the most love and support, right, from everyone else outside of my circle. Do you know that? And I've met some of the nicest people in my life, right, that know nothing about me. But I love the people that I thought were close mates of mine, real close mates as well.
Yeah.
And they drop me like that, proper start slagging me off or doing this, or you hear from XYZ that they said this about you, and I've gone, oh, so you weren't really a real mate. You know, like when you said you only lost one or whatever. I'm like, mate, recently I've lost about 4 mates that I thought were close, and I won't talk to them ever again.
No.
Because the thing is that I really do believe in this as well, is keeping your circle tight with people that actually want you to do well.
Yeah.
And the maddest thing is with me, I'm 27 years of age now, I've found that the people that I've grown up with 9 times out of 10 aren't really supportive of me. No. They always just wanted to keep me at an arm's length just so they were above me. Yeah. And I've never been one. I just want you to do well, and I'll do well, and we just all do well. And I don't care if you've got a mansion. Are you happy? That's all I care about.
Exactly.
And but that's the one thing with it that has been heartbreaking for me. I've gone, how have I... I'm glad I know it now because it was meant to happen. But I look and I go, honestly, I've known you all my life, and you've been there slagging me off for it. Like, you should be trying to support me.
Exactly.
But now I've got a bit of a following behind it. Now these people want to start being nice to me again, and I'm like, no, like it's not even about it's principle with me now. I'm just like, I've met people in 4 months now that I know I have mates for my life because they literally want me to do well, and I'm sure you've had the same thing.
Yeah.
Like, but it's one of them. Like, I literally can't believe the amount of hate from people that meant to love me.
Yeah.
Even like proper close family. I'm not going to say anything like that, but like really slagging me off.
Yeah.
Like, you're making yourself look like a fool. You're doing this. And then I get messages from people every single day pretty much like going, honestly, mate, you're making my life better at the minute. If I, like, I mean, honestly, I get nice messages like
That's
that.
the thing, innit? And that is the thing. Like, when you get messages like that from people and you say, do you know what? Right, I've had a right shit day today, but I watched your video and it's just started me off like in a good mood. Like, you just think to yourself, that's just
and
nice.
how good does that make you feel?
But it's nice. That's a better feeling, I bet, than the fucking cocaine. Do you know what I mean?
Like, I can't explain to you. And I say to people all the time, be yourself. I never went on here thinking it was going to... And I swear to God, this is God's honest truth. I watched your videos. I sent you a voice message about a year and a bit ago, and you responded to me. And I was like, from seeing you on Twitter to seeing you now has made me really want to do something like this. Then I started doing it. And that's God's honest truth. I literally was going, I've literally watched this geezer 5 years ago. And now I'm looking, I think at the time, I had 23,000 followers. Now you're on double that.
Yeah, I mean,
it's funny how things
it's weird
work out, isn't it? Like,
no, literally, and I remember sending you'll have it on your phone because I was listen when you followed me on TikTok the other day. I swear to God, I was sitting there and I was just like, oh my God, he's like, followed me back. But it was such a big thing for me at the time because I was like, this geezer made me believe that I could be myself, not trying to put smoke up your ass. But I'm being real with you.
No.
But when you're doing it, like, and I've read some of the comments you get, and I'm like, has he not like at the time? I'm like, nasty but like bastards. Why are they saying that? Like, he's actually making me laugh. Like, the videos are class. And you'll put a like blinding one up, just like a female, like in the thing. It's funny. But like, you look at that and I swear to God, I sent them voice notes to you and you messaged back. I was like, he's actually made the time to message me back as well. So every time someone messages me, I swear to God, because like, I try and message them back. Be like, cheers, I really like that's meant a lot to me.
You know, that's it.
And then I started doing it, and it was more watching you getting slagged off on Twitter, and I was just like, I don't realise what this geezer's got, mate. And then you're on that, and I'm like, look at you all now. Yeah. And then you're now looking now, going, I wish you didn't slag him off back then. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, the slagging off thing it's never really bothered me. I mean, I'd be lying if I said there'd been some comments that didn't rub me up the wrong way, and I've responded to them in such like in a manner of jest or just like, you know, like getting back to them. But like at the end of the day, I think to myself, I can't really be bothered most of the time because it don't mean anything. These people out there saying that, and or it means absolutely fuck all.
It really does as well. Like,
it's just important that you can cut it off because a lot of people it will affect.
Yeah, it does. And it does
it's
affect
not nice
people.
no matter what. It's still going to affect in some way. But
it does affect some people.
I really think like I feel blessed from where I've grown up because I've grown up with banter my whole life and I can take it. And I think that's another thing, like, and I don't know what it's like around the rest of the country or whatever, but I've been around the rest of the country and they do not find our banter, like, they find us very, they're like dirty, whatever. And I'm like, I'm sorry, mate, that's just how we talk to each other. Like, it's love.
Oh, yeah, do you know what I mean?
I don't mean it in that way.
People can't understand the way me and my mates, like, we used to take the piss out of each other, to each other. Like, brutal.
Not like, brutal, and it is brutal.
But you love each other, and people are like, they're standing there going, is he really saying that about him? Like, sort of thing. But
well, I'll give you a funny story. It's very quick. I went to me and my mate was on the Northern Line. Forget where we was going, and I go, you big nose, whatever, and he calls me, you fat, whatever, and it's just back and forth, but it's just banter. And this woman's come out of nowhere and started going, don't call him fat. And I was like, how is the third person getting offended right now? Like, how, like, and I don't care. We're laughing and you're like trying to get my back.
Yeah.
But I'm going, people obviously just don't understand like, where we're from. It's like you get from a young age, they build you up.
It is that though, isn't it? It is people getting offended on behalf of someone else. It's like
What's going on with the world now, mate?
I've never understood that. It's not been directed at you. You're getting upset for him.
Like, he
or
can
her.
stand up for himself. Yeah, she can stand up for it. But I'm laughing, love. Like,
Yeah.
like, I'm not. You can clearly tell that it's banter. But I feel like now in this world, I just don't understand it. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Bring back banter.
But that is the thing though. With that's probably the side of social media that is shit, which is it has made this world a little bit flaky. Do you
Massively flaky.
Do you know what I mean? I think that's a lot to do with social media. Would you agree, Robbie? Yeah, he's nodding his head. Yeah, we always ask.
He
Robbie
wants
for
agreement, doesn't he?
Good old Robbie.
But it does show how people can take things as well the wrong way. You can take things totally the wrong way on social media as well.
Yeah,
and
people jump on stuff without knowing the facts and stuff like that.
And that's one side I do look at. I ain't going to say that, social media is all rosy and gold. It's not. It's like anything in life. You go out there, it's not going to be the nicest day sometimes. But some people just do feel like on social media for no reason that they could just be an absolute prick. And I just go, what is that bringing you in life, mate?
Yeah.
But it's the wokeness of it that I really don't like about life at the minute. I just look around and I just go, if everyone just didn't really care what people thought that much, and they just went around doing their own thing and not getting offended and being the third person, life would be so much better again.
Yeah.
Like, I can't even walk down a road now and I just got to speak to myself and just not speak out loud because I don't want someone to get offended.
Yeah. Sometimes I add comments onto posts where I look at a post, right, and I look at a post and I think to myself, there's going to be loads of flaky people on there, loads of flaky people.
They're going to tag their mates.
That spoon out here.
Yeah, no, just mix it up a little bit. But I'm like that though. Like I had a girl the other day try and tell me off, like saying how many other girls have got in my DMs. And I was going, darling, I've spoke to you for 2 days, yeah, and listen, I know where I come from, yeah, so I know this is clout chasing right now, yeah, and I'm here for it. I was just like, but she was right kicking off me, so I just made a video just like mugging off how many girls got in my DMs. I was just like, yes, I'm a big bloke with girls in my DMs, thank you very much. Like, but again, like, who are you to tell me like how to live my life?
Yeah.
Like,
What's that all about? Yeah.
I'm single. I like Pringles. Leave me alone. Like, simple as that.
Once you pop, you can't stop.
Literally, BigFoysey.
Yeah, just to take it back a little bit. That process, 'cause you said you went to counselling and stuff.
Yeah.
Did you completely cut it off, or was you like back and forth between doing?
I think the thing is with it, and even now I say it to myself like this. I'm not saying that I'm never going to do it again.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that I know it's not good for me. And I know that now me and that drug don't have a great relationship, because when I started saying I ain't doing it anymore, I'd do it. And listen, it's been like, what, good few months now, like since I last had a bit. Last time I had a little bit was I was really drunk, and then I was like, oh, go on, and I had a little bit. Instantly, I regretted it. Like, I was like, no. And that's when my body's now built up that it's now foreign to me.
Because it takes a long time, because a year
now,
ain't a long time, is it?
No,
So you might still
I'm
do
still
it
in
a
the
little
process
bit.
now.
Yeah.
It's just I'm just in a lot better headspace around it now. Like I've realised it's more about the relationship you have with it rather than you going like teetotal on it. You just go, right, so obviously I'm not going to say I'm never going to have it, because then it's going to lead its way back into my life. So we're from England, like we're in London, pretty much everywhere you go, it's there.
Yeah.
Like it's one of them, like you just got to tell
Just
yourself, like,
controlling it,
it's
yeah.
more about, is it worth it? That's the kind of conversations I have with myself now. Like, me doing this, is it going to benefit my life? No. Am I having a good time already? Yeah. Does it null my personality and dumb my personality out? Yeah, it does. Why would I take something that's going to numb my personality and make me not talk?
Yeah.
That's how I look at it now. And I go, you know what? I'd rather just go and have a drink and just go out and have a good vibe. You don't even need drugs to have a good time. Just see me in my van. I have a great time in my van. But like, honestly, like, it's just having that relationship thing with it. That's what I'd advise. But the counselling definitely helped, because it was more the fact that he didn't know who I was. Like, and that was so like comforting for me that I could cry, I could open up.
Yeah.
And it was like, and after I just felt like this big weight was off my shoulders. And I just felt like, oh, that was nice. But when you're talking to a friend or you're talking to a mum or whatever, it's nice and it's good. But you can't open up fully because you don't want to be judged. And I think that's the most important thing, not being judged. When you're talking freely about something, you can be yourself and not worry about that. You can really open up now.
Yeah.
And that's the side. I can tell you, oh, I've had this, I've had that. But really, I'm not telling you the nitty gritties of like the stuff that was really affecting me about it, you know? And that's what because I won't lie, I was a bit stubborn back then. I was like, I don't need no help. I can, like I say, I'm a geezer. I can fucking sort this out myself. No, mate, we're men. Like, yeah, we do enough in our day to day to take up our time. Just a half hour in a day just to speak to someone. You don't realise. Wait until you're there and you do it. First session, you'll be like, I'm glad that I spoke to someone.
Yeah.
Like, and then you're looking forward to the next one. Then you start thinking more about like the stuff, right, now, why did that happen? Why did this happen? Now I want to talk to him again. It got to a stage of it where we kind of was going over the same kind of stuff now and don't really want you to think them things. So that was kind of when I stopped doing it. But for the short time that I've done it, I think it was about 8 weeks. Best thing I ever done. Because now it's more, I've just changed my relationship with it in my mind. But I think the key part is not telling yourself you're never going to do it again. Yeah. Because I kept doing it and I kept going back. And then I'd go back and I'd be on it for a month. Now it's like I said, I had a little bit and I went, that ain't for me. And then boom, straight off of it.
Just takes time, doesn't it? Yeah. Because it's a habit, isn't it? So it's
a nasty, nasty, nasty drug. I'll tell you that much for nothing. Like the lows it can bring you, like, but the highs you think there isn't.
Yeah.
Trust me.
The lows outweigh.
But it's
the
like any
highs.
drug, though, innit? I'm not being funny. Alcohol can bring you to some horrible lows. Like your body is reliant on it, and if you get off of it, you can die. It's like every single one of them don't have anything. We're natural humans that take substances like to whatever reason for it, but they're there, and we're gonna take them. And I think a lot of people do judge people that take drugs and stuff, but you don't realise what they've got going on as well. You know
Well, that's the thing I'm saying, like, especially within the trades industry, and I think there is a hell of a lot of pressure on people, like you say. Yeah, there's like amount of work, like or again, what they don't know what's going on back at home, sort of thing, like and coping mechanisms with it, etc.
Literally.
And like on a 9-to-5 job where you go to work, you forget about all your problems when you go home at work. You forget about all your work problems when you go home on a normal 9-to-5. Or if you work for a company and you just like, I've done that today, I'm going home and I ain't got to worry about getting a customer for next week, like chasing invoices, chasing this, chasing that. And it's just, it's a different mindset from actually being like, say, self-employed or working as one of them people who are out on the road all the time,
literally.
trying to chase the coin. Do you know what I mean?
And people out on the roads as well, they're bang on one. Like the SGNs and all that. Like I've seen all of them. Like it's you don't realise in this game, I swear to God, like tradesmen, they are all on it pretty much. Paint and decorators, I just find don't do anything. They're quite boring. No offence to paint and decorators, yeah, you're good geezers, but keep cutting in. No, but like I said, road workers, they love it, and but they keep it all to themselves. But I think as a user, you know when people are on it, and I look at them and I'm going, all I have to do is just see a little kind of thing because you don't. Most of them don't want to keep eye contact. So when you find people like constantly like I'm like, all right, so you're on one, and you just don't want to look at me, so I just go, all right, sweet, I know that you're on one. But it's a lot more than what you'd think. Yeah. And I don't know if anyone's ever spoke about the social housing game in this country, but it's messed up.
What within regards to...
But the amount of work they give you, right, is disgusting. Like they think that you, and they want more and more and more out of you. And we're meant to be servicing the boiler and doing it properly, fixing the boiler and doing it properly. 9 times out of 10 people in social housing won't do a tightness test, and I swear to you, they won't. They go, right, it's all right, I don't smell gas, and you do it, right. What is it really? You're like, what? You're not gonna? No, because I've got 14 jobs to go to. But these companies don't care about you.
But that's the thing, because it's not mandatory, is it?
No,
either. It's not mandatory. Now I'd do a gas test on. If I was doing a landlord's, I'd be doing a gas test, but it's not mandatory.
It's not. I find it mental.
I find that crazy.
Someone told me that about a couple of years back, and I was like, what?
Yeah,
what?
I find that absolutely crazy to not actually test whether there's a leak on the gas installation as part of a landlord safety check.
I think it's crazy as well.
But that's, for me, the most... to make me go to sleep at night, I want to do a tightness test, because you're like...
For gas safe to let you do that, though, can it be that bad then?
To me, though, it is
bad.
It is bad, but to me, I don't know if I'm speaking out of turn here, I think it's a get-out for these companies, like where they're pushing that work on.
No, I've never thought of it like that, you know.
I think it's that grey area, because these companies, all the big companies as well, let's not just say social housing, but all the big companies expect their engineers to go out and do 12, 14 jobs a day. Yeah. Right, you're servicing boilers, you're not doing a gas test, right? You're not obliged to do a gas test when you're working on a boiler or the gas. But this is because, number one, that's an extra 8 minutes out of the time, right? Number two, it is if there is a problem there, then you've got to resolve it. And that's not getting on to the next job. is
No.
it?
How
Do
you
you know
get?
what I mean?
Is it paid per job on a social housing?
But it depends what company you go for. I won't like name the names of the companies, but basically, most of them do what's called scheduler rates, like say where you get like 45 minutes for a service. One company might do an hour and 15, and then say throughout the whole day, like you've made, let's say 16 hours. You're only getting paid 9 hours, and all the rest is profit now. So if I do more work in the day and I've earned 16, 17 hours, I know people getting 24 hours in a day doing all that. And you go, how have you just done? You're only working 9 hours, but you've made 24 hours. You're not doing your job properly, are you?
But you know what?
Mustn't be.
You know what? This
Oh, you get that extra hours.
You do. That's what the
Okay.
scheduler rates is. So that's why it's so eager for them to do it. And
Keep
they're like,
doing it,
yeah.
yeah.
But the thing is, you work for the company, right? But you ultimately are going to be the one who's in court because you're the
Yeah.
because you're self-certificating. That's what we are. We're self-certificators. We certificate it. We're the ones who go out and say, yeah, that's all right. It's not on the company. The company go, well, he said it was all right.
Yeah, no, literally, and I had this with one of the companies. So I had to leave one of them because I'd had enough of it. I'd go and do, let's say, 3 days call out, right? And I've gone from 9 in the morning or 8 in the morning till 1 in the morning. I've been out for. They'd call me up at 9 o'clock. Where are you? And I'm like, I'm sleeping, mate. I'm exhausted. And obviously, like I said, you don't see, I've gone to bed at 4.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm exhausted. I'm coming in at 10. And they're like, no, you've got a full day's work. You go in, do a full day's work. You're out on call till 1 or 2 again. Then they're going, and I'm like, you're not giving me no rest. So then I started to do a bit of research into this because someone said it to me. I was just like, surely they should be paying me for a rest day.
Look at lorry drivers and taco meat.
Exactly, yeah, exactly that, right? So you're 10 hours, isn't it, or something?
I don't know.
And then they've got to pull over and sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're not allowed to. But with the gas safe game, for some reason,
You
you're
can
allowed
drive
to work
around
me
tired,
like that.
yeah.
And like I said, it makes you go towards them drugs because you're so like under pressure from the firms. So I then got a union involved, and I was like, I feel like I'm getting abused here at work. Like honestly, like I don't understand how they feel that they can call me up and drag me back into work. And they went, no, they've got. If you do, I think it was. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's like if you do over 24 hours in a certain amount of time, you have to have a day's rest paid for when you're employed. But they don't tell you this. These companies, they just
Do you
work
have to do
like
the
a
call
dog.
outs?
Right, so you get you're on call out. Some companies will do 1 day a week. Some companies do 1 week in 4 weeks,
Yeah.
right, or something like that. But again, there's always call out there because people don't want to do it. Some people have got kids and families. And I'm not saying on this, by the way, that every gas engineer does it. I'm just saying it's very. You got most people when you go social housing will be users, right? That are trying to just make as much as they can because the summer's quite dead. For us, it's a chilled bit. Most of us, it's like, right, winter's done now. I can relax a little bit, take my foot off the gas. Not social housing because you backed up all of this work and then the summer comes and they're like, boom, and they're still like on whatever. But the hours that you do with the call out and throughout the whole day, it's a joke what they put you through, and it's not legal. And it's like, but they don't tell you any of this. All they're telling you is think of the money, think of this, think of that, and you do. Like, I'm not being funny. What do we do this for? What do we do to get money in our pocket? But yeah, the jobs that they tried to. I remember one day I went into work. They gave me 26 jobs. And I was like 26 jobs, and one of them was a heat exchanger on a roster.
Really?
Right, and I just said to him, I'm like, and this another thing.
How can
long
you
do
even do that, man? Like,
No, but the people, I swear to God, they'll go in, and what they'll do is picture a boiler, picture a gas meter, and they'll fill out the gas check, not do anything. Or they'll go in there, just put their analyzer in, just take a quick thing, and then they'll say, yep, tested everything. They'll be in the job for 5 minutes. These companies have got it on the trackers as well. This is the other thing. So if Gas Safe really wanted to go down this and go, right, how long have you actually done in that gas safety check? Right, so he's gone in that day and you can see his van's gone here, there, on the tracker because they all want to see what you're doing as well. Like, it's like Big Brother of these companies now. So you've got all of these things, they're sending you all these places, right? And you're there going, and next day they're trying to kick you off and dock your money because that's another thing, they dock your money all the time. Like, you'll go in, do all these hours, do all the call out, and then they go, oh, but you didn't do this properly. And one of them's got a callback. Of course you're going to get callbacks.
Yeah.
I'm in and out, in and out, in and out. But that's what they want you to do. But then when the summer comes, they'll then start, like, being arseholes to you. Like, oh, right, so you've got to stay on site till this time and start real being bastards. Winter come, they want to be your best friend because they want you to go to all of these jobs. Like, I don't think it should be legal that these companies, right, can have 20 contracts. Let's say, like, I've got Southwark Council, I've got Lambeth Council, I've got all these different councils that I've got to fulfil, like, design, like all the stuff for it, right? But I've only got this amount of men. But then men are now getting stretched across all of these different social housing, clarions, hexagons, or whatever, and they've only got this many people employed. You should have a certain amount of people guaranteed employed for each contract.
Yeah,
but they're
you
all
shouldn't
trying to
be
go
allowed
lower on the money.
yeah.
So what they're then trying to do, they lower the amount of money that they have on the contract. So let's say Lambeth give them £180 per house. That's how they'll do it on these social housing things. They'll then go, right, for the whole year we'll pay you 180 just for that house. Anything goes wrong, anything above that comes out your pocket. That's how they work, most of them. So let's just say, I don't know, for example, Smith and Barford, one of the social housing companies, will go in and they'll go, yeah, 120 quid for that one. You're probably going to get a loss. Like, not every single... And they'll do it for the whole of Southwark Council, which is a massive council, or another council. And it's like, that is so much, like, load on them people that are doing it. So, do you know what I'm saying? And then they've got to try and fulfil these, like, things on the contracts. And I'm like, it's just impossible, mate.
Yeah.
So the pressure you're under as a social housing engineer is mental. And like I say, you've got all that at home as well to deal with, not just them on your ear roll.
Yeah.
The council should be paying more money, really.
They've got no, but that's how it is. It's like everyone's trying to like penny snatch everywhere and compete because there's like several different companies all competing for one contract, and they'll have a 10-year contract in it, and then it'll go up for whatever tender, and then the other ones will go in with a lower price to try and get it, and then they're all trying to get as much out of these engineers as possible. And they're working them to the ground. Like, honestly, like...
But then there's an explosion, like I say.
What,
and
the one the other day?
And it's on you.
No, but that's it. It's my gas safety license.
Yeah.
Like you say with them, the taco cut, like for these HGV. Them, if you get pulled over and something's happened, that's you, mate.
Yeah.
That ain't the company.
No.
And that's what I say to people. I got out of that social housing game and I tell people, get out of it. Because it's your licence. The amount of people I know that are getting riddled left, right and centre because they'll go and there's a massive gas leak. Anyone that done a riddle, but yeah, if you don't sound bad, you're off the gas.
Yeah.
But like left, right and centre, they're getting done. And it's all social housing because the amount of pressure they're putting you under. They should look into it.
Yeah, ain't good, is it?
No, he's right. You brought up a really valid point there. It's something I've been saying for fucking years, like all these big companies pushing their engineers to do this, that and the other, and really not in realistic time frames. It's bollocks,
time
especially
frames.
when people are constantly out there banging on about gas safety. But it's all being underlooked. Like the big companies are being overlooked by like gas safe and people like that.
Why are they being like? I don't, well, to be honest with you, I didn't even think we'd go on to this. I'm glad we have because it is such a dark place in that thing. That brought me to them lows working for companies like that. Like because they made me feel like I had to do that work. And I'm constantly under pressure. Thinking I'm going to lose my job as well. But you don't because you're earning such good money. You're scared of losing. Yeah, you're scared of losing it. Like, and I won't lie, I earn proper good money in these companies, more than I'm earning now. But my life is so much happier now.
Yeah.
I can go and do a private job and do my own thing on the side.
Yeah, people don't see that side. They see how everyone's earning money, but they don't see the side it pushes you to. Like,
and where it's guaranteed, like for self-employed, right? You don't know if someone's going to you chase your invoices. That's the side of it. Like, people go, oh yeah, Plumber Towers must earn loads of money. Plumber Towers has got a
Fucking do that.
Yeah.
I'd like to see it.
Send his bank, mate. No, but like honestly, you go right. So you're there now having to do a quote that might get rejected.
Yeah.
You send the quote. It's took all this time. You've gone to the job. All they've done is use that quote as a template now to give it to someone else to do it cheaper. You've got the job now. You've done the job. Now I've got to invoice the job. Now you've got to wait however long for it. These are the stresses you don't see. One thing is guaranteed when you work for a company in social housing is every Friday your money's getting paid. So that's why people don't. There's like so many talented engineers out there, like really
some
good.
Some of the best engineers you'll ever see are the ones who are in like those big companies or social housing.
Yeah, because they're so worried, like because of the way they make them feel. These companies, like that the grass ain't green.
They've got like a hold on them. Yeah.
No, and then people are scared to do like they go, oh yeah, but I don't want to wait for invoicing. Luckily now there's a lot more better ways of getting around it, like with these card machines and stuff. But it was a lot harder. But again, it's for guaranteed Friday you're getting paid. You do your 2-week working when you first join these companies, then you get paid your money guaranteed on a weekly basis. It is such a hard cycle to get out of because you'll go from that to monthly, or you're going that to self-employed, and now you're having to like wait for a bit of money, and then you're like, nah, get me back in there because I can do 1 week of call out and get 2,500 or $3,000 after tax. And that's sorted me out now for the rest of the month.
Yeah.
I now can, if I want to, just chill out a little bit. No one does because it's too much. You got the money there. You're like money. I don't care what anyone says. You don't. Like, I've been there and I've earned 2,000 whatever, and then the next week I've took someone's call out because I want that money even more.
Yeah.
And then you go, where's that money gone? Do you know what I mean? That's where it goes.
Yeah.
So what plans do you have going forward then? Now you're out of.
Nah. Do you know what? It's every day I'm just taking it as it comes now. It's been 4 months since I've been on TikTok, And I won't lie to you, my life is, like you say with yours, like, it's completely changing. Like, and for the better, I'm meeting the nicest people I've ever met in my life, and avenues are going through it. But I feel like for me, I'm more going down the music route with it now. Like, my sights are set on getting out of the trade, to be honest with you. I'm sure yours will be eventually. It's one of them, like, I always want to have something with the trade of my family or tradesmen. I've been a tradesman myself, but I just look at it now and I just feel like, I don't know, I'm just going to be a knob in a van playing music and it's just going to do something for me, mate. Like, I just feel like people will watch videos of me and what you see is what you get. And I'm just all about just taking life as it comes and just having a smile on my face, trying to be positive. Everything's going to come around in life and bite you on the arse one time, but I'll just wait for that to come now. That's my mindset with it, and I'll try and be happy about it.
It's just positive mental attitude. I think that's all I ever say is, like, just envisage a better life and what you're going to do.
No,
It will happen because you're thinking you want to get into music. It will just happen, and you'll look back. You think, I can't believe how that just planned out.
100%. What you just said there. So every day, right, I literally say to myself, I'm grateful for everything I've got in my life. And I never used to say that. Every morning I wake up, I go, thank you for everything I've got. And I go, I literally have a vision now of where my life's going. And I go, I'm going to get there. Yeah. I'm going to achieve that. And I don't use the word hopefully anymore and stuff like that. I go, listen, I don't live in hope. I just live my life now going, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And yeah, I'm going to fail with it. And some things ain't going to come.
And it don't matter.
But it don't matter. I'm just going with my life now.
You've got to be in the present. Yeah,
you have to. And I really believe with being in a vibration of people.
And as long as you're, I always say, right, it don't matter if you don't make the dream come true, but as long as you're living part of that dream,
exactly,
it don't matter. As long as you're doing, and trying, it don't matter if you don't even accomplish what you. Well, what is the end goal?
Yeah, I say to people before, people are too focused on the end goal.
Yeah,
you've got to be in it up to that point.
But it's like the journey of it. You start your podcast off. What's the end goal? It's like, well, we're just taking it as it comes, and it's going to blow up. Right? I'm sure it's going to. And I just keep saying to myself, you asked me a question. I don't know where this is going to take me with it. I just, right now, from where I was, I'm so happy now. Like, honestly, like, I look in, I'm so grateful for everything I've got. I go, I'm just blessed that I've fucking got both my legs today and I can walk. And I mean, like, the littlest things just be grateful for, because I had a mate when I was growing up. He, rugby player, was going to be successful and all that. Got on a coach to Bournemouth and he literally collapsed. Now he's paralysed from his legs down because the bone just on the bottom of the spine, I forget what it's called, but that just detached. Like that.
Shit.
Right? So, and I go to myself, like, Christ, he had a career where he was going to be a professional rugby player. Now he's actually in the Olympics and the Paralympics, called Liam McGarry. Like, he's done that with his life. Legs don't work anymore. And now my man's there doing weights, like, at the Olympics in France.
So he's a positive. He's just a positive
But that's
person.
what he's done. And I go, if he can do that, like, God bless him, he's never going to walk again for the rest of his life, you know? And I go, but he's now doing that. He's on the Olympics lifting up weights. Weights that I couldn't even lift at all. Yeah. You know, and I just go, he probably could have given up with life, you know?
That's good.
No, and I go, but it's just, I just now live my life, honestly, just going, I'm just happy and grateful, you know? And people that come up to me, like, I used to get bad road rage.
Well, you would with today's out there, wouldn't you?
I still do. But it's like, now I just try and go to myself, you know what, they must be having a bad day. Like, they must have something going on in their world. And I never used to be like that. Like, you fucking like,
I just
part of growing.
I don't really get
100%.
I don't really get road rage anymore. I mean, I'll make a joke of it sometimes when we're in the vans and that. But like, when somebody's like, when there's traffic, I'm just like, I'm not happy about it. But I hear something a bit today. Somebody was a bit like, and I think to myself, that ain't getting you anywhere, is it? No. It ain't getting you anywhere whatsoever. And I just think, it's what it is. Someone cuts you up, whatever. Don't.
I just say my best advice to anyone is just put on a house beat and just watch that. Look how good your life goes, mate. Changes in a heartbeat.
Mate, I've really enjoyed this.
Yeah, it's been good.
This has been really good, mate.
Thanks for having me on here.
Well done for getting out the other side of that.
Yeah, definitely, mate. Hats off to you.
Yeah,
no.
Anyone else struggling, you can do it as well, I promise.
Thank you for sharing it. I didn't even expect that conversation because I didn't know about it. So
you know what? It's happened for a reason. Hopefully it helps people out there to watch it.
Yeah, no, definitely, mate. I think this has been a really good podcast. I'm really happy with how this has gone. It's like,
No, it's blinding. Honestly, thanks for having me on here.
I would do a video together or something.
Yeah, we'll definitely do one, mate.
definitely
I've
do
got
it.
to show you a couple of our speeds, Pete. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm a bit of old man now.
No,
Is it
no,
still
no.
big fish, little fish? and all
Yeah,
that?
you can cut that in, mate. Whatever. As long as it's in time.
I think, but one of the key things of what everything you said is just try and speak to someone, innit? Because you never
God's
did.
truth, yeah. Like, if you are watching, just I swear to God, if you're going through something in your life, please just talk to someone about it, because you will get to a point where you will give up, and all it takes is just having a chat and just watch how better you feel, and play house music. I say it again, like, it'll make you feel better.
You're gonna finish with a.
Voila!
Cheers, boys. Cheers.
Top man, mate.
All right, this has been another episode of Off the Job Podcast.
Thanks for watching the show on YouTube or listening on Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Podcast, and all other streaming platforms.
If it's your first time watching or not, make sure to subscribe below and follow us on all the big social media stuff like Facebook, Instagram, TikTok.
For our overtime show on Monday, send us in your stories and comments for it to be read out on the show. Send it in via email, direct message through our social media accounts, or WhatsApp us on 07457 406 259.
And we'll see you on the next episode.